Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so I'm going to wait for people to jump on, but if you are catching this on the replay, what we're talking about today is simplifying our makeup routine, and I have a really great giveaway for you. Hey, everybody, when you guys jump on, say hello, give me a heart, but what I want you to do is drop the word giveaway in the comments below so that you can qualify for my giveaway. Today, I'm giving away two of my very favorite double-ended brushes from Saint. The first one is the 3D brush, and the second one is the smudge brush, okay? Brand new, obviously. I wouldn't be giving away used brushes, but these are my two of those exact two brushes that I'm giving away today. So this is a 3D brush, and this is a smudge brush, okay? So when you jump on, drop giveaway in the comments. The other thing that I'm going to do, kind of two bonuses. When you drop the word giveaway in the comments, not only does that qualify you for the giveaway, and I'm going to be announcing the winner tomorrow, I'm also going to send you a link to my free custom color match to the Saint Cream makeup that I use. But I'm also going to give you guys, for those of you that are not my clients, or you've been thinking about Saint for some time, I know some of you worry about, well, am I going to know how to be able to apply it? What I'm doing, once you drop giveaway in there, is I'm going to send you a copy of what I send to my clients post-purchase. It's got a bunch of how-to videos, how to highlight, how to contour, blending tips, tool tips as far as, brushes, which brushes are best for me. So I'm going to send you all of that, all right? And good luck to all of you in the giveaway. And I will be announcing that in my stories tomorrow. So I'm so glad to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining. What we're really going to talk about today is simplifying the application of our Saint makeup. Maybe I should say, if you have stumbled upon this live and you don't know who I am, my name's Erin. I use Saint 3D Cream makeup. So this palette is customized for me and for my skin tone. All of my makeup is in this one palette. So no longer do I have that overflowing makeup bag filled with products that I spend too much money on and that I don't use, right? So I love these products. They're all cream-based products, which is really the biggest motivator for me. I'll be 49 in April. Mid-40s, I really noticed a difference in my skin, in both the texture, some of the challenges that I was having, that my old routine really wasn't serving me anymore. So I stumbled upon this 3D cream makeup and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I'm a Saint artist with Saint. And I gotta say, because I think some women get scared when they hear, okay, but she's a Saint makeup artist. I am not professionally trained. Before wearing Saint, I was never good at doing my makeup. This makeup just makes it that easy. The other thing and if you're just jumping on here, drop giveaway within the comments. Sorry, I just saw a whole bunch of people join. So drop the word giveaway in the comments. It will qualify you for the giveaway of my two double-ended Saint brushes that I'm giving away. I will also send you a link to my custom color match form. When I color match you, you fill it out. It takes you like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and you include a makeup-free selfie. You want that makeup-free selfie to be taken indoors and directly face an exterior window during the day. That's going to give me the best indication of your skin tone. And I know that seems crazy, right? How can she know what shades are best for me from a picture? I've done this over 4,000 times. Okay, successfully been able to match women in this same format. The other thing I'm going to send you is what I actually share with all of my clients post-purchase, which is a bunch of great how-to videos to help simplify all of this for you. Okay, so let me say this first. There are absolutely no rules on how you choose to apply this makeup. Sometimes you'll see me apply it with the dot method, right? We paint it on our face and then we blend it all in. Sometimes, I think for some people that helps them with placement and a visual placement, but I think there's other women that go, oh my gosh, that seems confusing. So I'm going to show you a different way today, all right? I'm going to start with my main shade. So these three, this is my contour, this is my main shade, and this is my accent highlight. So think of these three, they are your foundation. You don't need foundation on top of this. All three of these have coverage. But what I wanted to show you, I'm going to start with my main shade, okay? In this case, I'm using Hazel, and I'm going to put it all over my face, okay? And I want to show you what happens when you put one single color all over your face. Sort of very reminiscent of what we do with traditional foundation, right? We put one color all over our face. So do you see this side without any makeup on? One second, let me just tap this out quickly and then I'll show you guys. I'll tell you what I'm getting at here. Okay. So, do you see this side without any makeup? We all naturally have shadows. Some of us have more shadows than others. You know, shadows on the top of my forehead, shadows underneath my cheekbones, shadows underneath my jawline, right? And when we take one color and we put it all over our face, we start to flatten out all of that beautiful, natural dimension that already exists. The beauty of this is that you're placing these three shades only where you need it. You don't need to layer products, okay? So in this case, consider this, you know, traditional foundation. I'm putting one color all over my face. I have started to take away what is already beautiful, which is that dimension. And that's all that contouring is, ladies. So let me show you a different way. Let me start with my contour. Okay, I'm using that same brush, all right, same end. And I am going to start just with contour. I'm going to contour along the top of my forehead because that's where I already have a natural shadow. I'm just simply deepening what already exists. I'm going to put the contour underneath my cheekbones. I'm tapping and pressing that into my skin. Okay, I will blend it out. And then I'm just going to do the same along my jawline. You don't want to see a line, so I'll just pull it down like this. All right. Do you see now? I don't have my main shade here. All I've done is create a little bit deeper of a dimension on this side using the contour. You can contour your lips. You can contour your nose. You can do all the things. I'm going to keep it super, super simple today. I'm simply adding my contour, which my contour has coverage, just like traditional foundation would have, okay? So sometimes what I'll do when I'm going to a lighter shade is I will just take my brush and just do this. But do you see how little product is actually on this brush? I did this full side here, and then I did the contour here. And look, there is hardly anything on the brush. We're actually using less product with cream makeup because the shades are very highly pigmented, which for me, when I found Saint, that was super important because I hate the feeling of heavy makeup on my face. That's a deal breaker for me, right? So I'm just filling into the areas that I didn't put contour, all right? So I haven't taken any shadows away that already exist because I've simply just deepened them. And then I'm just putting my main shade in the areas where I need some coverage, right? I have a lot of redness and broken capillaries. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know I struggle with that word, can never remember it. And the accent highlight, this is going to be a few shades lighter than your main shade. And you can add that anywhere where you want to add a little bit of brightness to your face. So I guess you could consider this sort of like concealer, if you will. Whenever you are adding, and I'm looking at my phone right now at you, but I'm just going to look at my mirror behind. So forgive me if I'm not looking you guys in the eye. So I'm just putting the smallest amount around my eyes, just where I want to add some brightness. This is the smudge brush. This is one of the two that I'm giving away today, along with the 3D brush. Drop the word giveaway in the comments. That will qualify you for the giveaway. And then I just put a little bit down my nose and then on the tip of my nose. All right. So can you see the difference? I can see it on my end. If you can see the difference, drop a heart in there. And if you want to go back and add a little bit more contour and a little bit more definition, you absolutely can do so. All right. So I have done half of my face. My foundation, if you will, is done. It is that simple. Okay. So I wanted to hop on here and show you guys the different ways to be able to apply it. And I think I really wanted to talk about the differences that utilizing a highlight and an accent and a contour, you may see that referred to as the hack method. It stands for highlight, accent, and contour. That's all this is, right? So the next thing that I want to show you is the power of cream bronzer and an illuminator. I love keeping mine side by side, and I take the big end of my blush and bronzer brush and I swirl it between the two. And what bronzer is going to do is bring just a little bit of warmth to my skin, okay? Kind of like a sun-kissed glow without the skin damage. And the reason why I like keeping it beside, this is Angel Illuminator. The reason why I like to keep it beside each other is that I can get a bronzed glow all at the same time. So I just went in sort of a C formation on this side of my face, just to warm up my skin just a little bit and to add a beautiful natural glow. You could put a little bit on your chin if you want. If you want to put a little bit on your nose, you can do that as well. Okay, so do you guys see the difference between this side? And I haven't even zoomed in, guys. This is not perfect because I have not blended this out tremendously well, but it's really as easy as that. Do you see the difference between this side and this side, right? I'm simply just adding dimension. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add a lip and cheek color. These are some of my favorites, and I share these with you a lot. This is Frenchie. It's a matte shade, so meaning it doesn't have a lot of shine. It doesn't have a lot of gloss to it. This is Boardwalk. It's sort of a peachy pink gloss shade. And this is Desert Sunset. Ladies, if you don't have Desert Sunset in your palette, I really want you to consider adding it the next time you put an order in. When you look at it online, it won't look like this. Like online, it looks red, it looks dark, but it's not. This is another reason why I really want you to take advantage of my free custom color match, because here's another example. Hazel, this one right here, and Athens, this one right here, online looks crazy dark. All right, so lean on me and my experience of, I've got all of the shades. I color match, thousands of women all the time. And I really have a good idea of what these shades actually will look like on your skin. All right. So I just added Frenchie there. So again, this side, if you're just jumping on this side, all I've done is my main highlight all over my face. I'm trying to mimic a little bit of what traditional foundation does to our face, which is kind of flatten it all out. Okay. Let me do this. So sort of a flattened out look versus more dimension and celebrating the contour on my face that already exists. And it doesn't mean that I'm using more makeup. It just means that I'm strategically placing these 3 shades in 3 different spots. That's it. It's not more. It's actually less. Because with this method, in order to achieve something like this, you need to start layering, okay? And as we age and mature, when we layer product upon product, it creates texture. And texture makes our skin look older than it actually is. We don't need that. We don't need that. But here's one thing that I wanted to show you. Actually, here, you know what? Let me show you a tip. If you are somebody that loves lining your lips, you can just use the contour shade that you already have in your palette. So this is Astoria Contour. These are the two contours that I go between. This is Olive, this is Astoria. And you can dip your brush into your contour. Hold on, I'm gonna look in my mirror versus at home. And just use your contour that you already have in your palette to line your lips. I have a little bit of clear gloss on my lips right now. That's all I had. Okay. So I just used Astoria Contour to line my lips. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Boardwalk and put Boardwalk. Boardwalk is a really pretty peachy pink neutral shade. So Astoria and then Boardwalk on my lips. That's it. And my sons are, can you guys hear the fire alarm? Before I hopped on here, I said, boys, if you're cooking lunch, please make sure to turn the fan on the oven because I can't have the fire alarm go off. So there's no fire in my house. My 18 and 20-year-old boys are just cooking. It's amazing. Something going on with your audio. Voice starts to slow down and goes deep. Just want to let you know. Okay, is anybody else experiencing that? I hope that's not the case. Anyways, if you love the palette, I love this palette too. So there's one other thing that I want to share with you all before you go. And if you're just hopping on, I realize that this side of my face looks different than this side of my face. You can catch this on the replay. I will post this on my page afterwards. But the thing that I wanted to share with you, I like keeping my eyeshadows on a separate level within my palette. And there's all different palette size options. So this is a larger one. This is an 18 tin palette. But I like keeping these are powder eyeshadows. I like keeping them on a separate level. But this color right here, this is the one that I want to show you. Let me pop it out. Whoops. And if you're new, each of the tins and the palette holder are magnetic. So when you're done with a certain product, let's say you've run out of one of your lip and cheek colors, you just pop it out and reorder what you want, being the palette, being the tin, you don't have to reorder a whole new palette. So therefore making it, very affordable, and it makes a lot of sense. And I just stuck my finger in this Kiss eyeshadow. That's amazing. All right, this is the eyeshadow that I want to show you because today is the last day to get it. Last year, Saint would come out with Lip and Cheeks of the Month, which was a brand new lip and cheek color every month. It was only available for that month. But this year, they've come out with their color of the month is eyeshadows. And this is called Kiss. That's where I just stuck my finger in it. So I will let me swatch it. If you're interested in this, you want to get it today. It's the last day to get it. And this is buildable. So can you guys see? It's got a light shimmer. And you may think it's only good for eyeshadow, but let me show you something. You can take your brush and drop it into Kiss and use this instead of illuminator, and you can put it on your cheeks. This color is absolutely stunning. So if you like this, peachy pink shade, you want to pick it up today because today is the last day to get Kiss. And what I love about it is that it's so multifunctional. You can use this instead of an illuminator. You can use this on your eyes. You could use this in the middle of your lip here to create a bit of a pout if you want a little bit of glow. It is a really pretty shade. I just need to I just need to blend that a little bit. There we go. And my last and final tip for flawless application is the Saint Setting Spray and the Perfector Sponge. This is something that I use every single day without fail, okay? So our cream makeup does not dry down like traditional foundation, and that's a good thing. So think of a bottle of traditional foundation. It's got a high percentage of water content. So when you first put on the makeup, it may look really great. And then as you move throughout the day, you're thinking, why does it look like my foundation color is changing or it's drying out? That's because your traditional foundation, the liquid foundation, is oxidizing, meaning that water content that's within the traditional liquid foundation is evaporating, okay? When it evaporates, that's when it starts to feel heavy, dull, dry, cracking. Cream makeup does not settle in the same, or does not dry down in the same way, but you need to set it, okay? And this is how I set it. You want to take, this is a Saint Perfector Sponge. It's damp, okay? If I squeeze it, no water's going to come out. That's kind of what you want. And then you're going to spray it with your Saint Setting Spray, and you're going to bounce it over your skin. This is going to do a couple of things. Number one, it's going to set your makeup. But number two, if you've been a little bit too heavy-handed with your product, it will pick that excess up. It's not going to take it off. It will just pick up that excess. And this gives you a really beautiful finish. So these two things are sort of must-haves for me. So if you are, the other thing that you can use this for too is as a primer. So, you know, most of you know I'm a Canadian girl. In the dead of summer, if I'm going to be outside for a long period of time and it's super hot out, or if I'm traveling to, lucky enough to travel to Florida in the winter, I will spray this on my face, let it dry, and use it actually as a primer first. So it's got tons of uses. The other use for this is when I do my brows. This is my Saint Brow Wax. This needs to be activated, and I will take a small spray of my setting spray and put it, I don't have my other brush with me, my spoolie brush, and then I will rub it into the brow wax. And that's what I did with my brows today before I jumped on with you, is I just used the brow wax, and I used the contour that I used on my face to line my lips. I also used it to fill in my brows. All right. So one side, easy, natural, beautiful looking makeup versus, you know, an option that leaves me frankly feeling a little bit flat and dull. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you haven't already done so, drop the word giveaway so that you qualify for my giveaway of the Saint 3D brush and the smudge brush. That is these two right here that I used today. I will include the link for my free custom color match when I send you that message, as well as a copy of my post-purchase email that I send to my clients. All right? You guys have a really, how long does the makeup last on your face without starting to wear off? Darcy, so for me, that's a great question. And forgive me, I forgot to check the questions. Saint Setting Spray, this will last all day. Now, it's normal to need to touch up. You know, if I'm wearing this all day and then I'm going out to dinner, I will take, because this is so easy, I can throw this in my purse, right? And I typically keep like this shape brush. This is a black one only because it's an artist edition. If you don't have the shape brush, I love this. It's great for touching up. So if I wanted to touch up my blush, if I just wanted to touch up an area on my face where I needed a little bit more coverage, then I could do that as well. But Saint Setting Spray is going to be really key in keeping that makeup looking and feeling great all day. All right. Something going on. Okay. So sorry, that message was earlier. Okay. It didn't seem like many of you were having the sound issues. Okay. That's great. How do you do the brows? So Terry, did you just hear that? I think you may have asked that question before I talked about how I did my brows. How do you get this palette in Sweden? So Christina, right now, Saint ships only in Canada and the US. A month ago, they announced global expansion. So we are expanding to the UK and to Australia sometime in 2024, meaning this year. And then Mexico shortly after that. So it depends on where you're from. Oh, from Sweden. I'm sorry. So, if you are from the UK or the UK, Australia, or Mexico, if you head to my bio, I created a broadcast channel to be able to communicate to all of those people that are looking for updates as they become available. Because right now, all we know is 2024. All right. Okay. Voice was good. Good. I love my palette, Muscle Mama. You keep adding on to it. So that's a really great comment. And when I build your palette for you and make those recommendations, you'll often see that there's a few extra spaces in the palette left. And I do that on purpose because all of my customers end up adding to their palette in the future. So that's why I leave a few extra spots for you. I go up on the size of the actual palette holder versus the products that you're getting today for that purpose. Okay, let me see if there's any. Is the palette quite expensive? So Anita, it's not. It's actually very affordable. So I'll speak to it in US dollars. And forgive me, guys. I don't know if you caught my stories earlier. I'm definitely getting a cold. Maybe you can hear some of that nasalness as I talk more. It's getting worse. Each one of these palettes are $16 US. All right. These shades, although these tins are small, it was my first observation when I first got Saint. I thought, oh my gosh, these palettes are tiny, or these tins are tiny. This contour, as an example, will last you 6 months. Okay, that's how little you are using of the product. With your main highlight and your accent highlight, between 2 to 4 months. Okay, so approximately $16 for a full-size tin. And then the more tins that you add into your cart, most of my clients qualify for the free palette credit, which goes towards this actual palette holder itself. So oftentimes the palette holder is complimentary. All right. What shades do you love for an evening smoky eye? Avalon. Okay. For an evening smoky eye. Okay, I don't have them here with me. Can I post that in my stories? I'm going to post that in my stories later today, and I'll put something together for you. Let me see if there's any other. Thanks, Erin. Hey, Kate, I'm glad that it was helpful. That's great. Do you clean the brushes after every application? So, Holly, I don't. I did clean my brushes. I knew I should have brought it in here. I cleaned my brushes before I hopped on here today. And what I use is the Saint brush cleanser. It comes in a container just like this, except for it's white. All right. And when you spray them, you spray your brush and then you circle it on a cloth like this as an example. And it disinfects and cleans your brushes. And the nice thing is there's no drying time. So you can use your brushes right away. So if you're anything like me and you leave things to the last minute, like cleaning your brushes, it's a wonderful product because you don't have to wait for it to dry. I also have the Saint brush soap, and I use that about 2 times a month for a deep clean of my brushes. This one as an example, this is one of my original brushes from 3 years ago. The brush quality is amazing. And when you look at it, I mean, you're getting 2 brushes in one, right? I use this end a lot for my main highlight. I use this end a lot for, well, you may have seen me, the bronzer and my illuminator. So you don't have to clean your brushes between each application, between the colors. You can work from lightest to darkest if you want. But if you saw earlier when I was applying the makeup and I actually took my brush and went on my paper towel here, there's so little product on your brush. That's why it doesn't transfer and make a muddy mess. I love the question. Thank you for asking it. No problem with the audio. Let me see. Oh, you're welcome, Jimmy. You're welcome. Jimmy? Oh, that's Claudine. Hey, Claudine. How are you? You'd love to buy it in New Zealand. I would love for it to come to New Zealand as well. Kimby's, you love the makeup. I'm so glad. I was a beach gal, fresh and free. Now I need makeup that looks light and nice. Terry Harris, I hear you. You know, I was the girl that sat out in the sun with baby oil on and forget about sunscreen. You know, I love that sun-kissed glow, and it's throwing me off. Ladies, if you're just jumping on, I know that one side of my face looks different than the other. But I like a light application, a natural, beautiful, glowy look that just helps to enhance my maturing skin and what's kind of going on. Anyways, I hear you, Terry. It's my first time on your channel and you love it. Super baby. I'm glad you're here. Kimby's, they do last forever. I think you're referring to those tins. It's crazy, isn't it? And here's one of the reasons why. Let me show you. For those of you, there's a whole bunch of you that are still hanging on. So thank you. Let me show you why. All right. So when you take, let me hold it this way so you can see it. When you take your brush, all right, this is one of the brushes that I use. Do you see how little product there is in there? There's nothing stuck in there. I'm not pushing down and dragging on it. I'm tapping, right? So I've tapped on the product. You're picking up the smallest amount of product, and that's why they last so long. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this application in this way today, because sometimes I think people see the dot method and they think that's a lot of product, but it's actually not. So it's hard to explain unless you've used it yourself. The products are so heavily pigmented. That's why they look darker online. They look darker. If you went to go pick your own shades without ever having experienced the product before, I guarantee you're going to pick shades that are way too light for your skin tone. That's why you want to lean on me for that free custom color match. Thank you for all this information. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everybody. I'm sorry if I've missed. Kimby's loves the cleaner too. All right, you know what I did do? Many of you may have seen my video the other day where I intended to spray my face with the setting spray, and instead I sprayed it with my brush cleanser. Well, guess what I did today? Right before I jumped on our live, I thought, okay, I should probably clean off my brushes before I go live. And I start spraying my brush and I'm, wiping it on my paper towel like this to clean it off. And I'm like, it's not cleaning as well as it normally does. That's because I took my setting spray and was spraying it on my brush to try to clean my brushes. Again, Saint, we need different shapes of bottles between the Saint setting spray and this Saint brush cleanser. Please, for the love of God. Anyways, you guys have a great day. And I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.